What's up, YouTube? First video for your Sound Guy 9. Got a whole surround sound here. I'm going to show you how to hook up and strip the wires and do everything from our first base to the last base. I've already done it all myself. As you can see, I got it also hooked up, and it's a very nice setup. Very loud. Get a lot of complaints with it, so I'm pretty happy with that. But 600 watt amplifier there, and anything else I'll tell you about later. So let's get to it. So here we go. Now I have my phone as an LED light, so don't worry about that. But so since you see that all my speakers are already hooked up, I'm gonna take some out and chop off the ends because that's okay. Now I'm just gonna take the first top one off here. And I'll teach you how to put these in the right way after I teach you how to strip them. Usually the speakers you buy, the surround sound kits, will already have them stripped. Maybe, I'm not 1000% sure, but if they aren't, they usually aren't. I'll teach you right now. So the first thing you're gonna need is some wire strippers. Now, these are very handy, and I've used them about 1,001 times. Here, I'm going to put that right there. These are some wire strippers. They have the sizes of the gauges. Hold on, let me get that in focus. Yeah, it's got the wire, the size of the gauge. And nothing on the back. They just, with those little holes, put that, they're the size of the wire, and you put your wire through them and they will strip it for you. You gotta really push down hard, and I never use the top ones up here. I don't know what they're honestly for. Alright, hey YouTube, we're back here, and I just took some speaker wire out of my speaker over here, and out of my amplifier. I took the speaker wire, I unplugged it. I'll teach you how to plug them in. If you're completely lost and just bought your new surround sound, I'll help you. Now you see, I've already stripped these. These are what it's going to look like when it's done. And that's what you're going to twist and you're going to put into the receiver. Now we're not to that step yet, because most of y'all will have a receiver, a home stereo set up, and you got to chop, or they're going to be chopped just like that. If they look like that, that's great. If they look like this, that's even better. So they're sometimes going to look like this, they're sometimes going to look like that. Now, you got to know your positives and your negatives, because you don't want to put a positive into the negative slot. That'd be the worst thing you could possibly do. Now, I've done it all. I haven't done that. So, but I have hooked up about 20 stereos and surround sounds, and I've amplified them. I went through mixers with them, so I know what I'm doing, and yeah. So I got a positive. There is a white strip on this one, and there is no white strip on that one. I don't know if the camera can catch that or not, but there's a little white line that goes through this wire and not that one. That's the negative, and this is my positive. Now you guys probably have a red and a black. Now the red and black, the red means positive, negative, or the black means negative. Now don't get them mixed up, and have the ends the same way. Now if you don't have that, you may have to look through the wire and see if you have a white line or a black line on the negative side, or if not, then you may want to get new speaker wire, or you can actually try and see the other end, and if they have tape or anything on them, a black tape, that means a negative. Then that means you want to come all the way and follow that wire all the way down and see into this one. Also, most of you guys' wires actually will come glued together. Now if that's the case, if they're just glued together really tight and it feels like you're not going to be able to pull them out, then we're going to have to cut them down the middle. Now the way to do this is get a box cutter knife and just sit there and go through the middle of them, just directly in the middle, and slice upwards slowly. And once you pull them apart, they're going to pull apart. You got to pull them apart like this. And if there is any exposed wire, you go beyond the exposed wire and you're just gonna chop it with these choppers. If you don't have these wire strippers, now I will teach you another method with scissors, but I will do that in a different video. But most of y'all should have these, but I will show you probably in this video actually. But you wanna just chop it with this wire strippers. They have little sharp things right there, and you just pull down and it tightens or cuts it right off. So, but here we go. This is how you wire strip. I'm just giving you guys a lot of information before we do it. Now, this is 16 gauge sized, but I'm putting it in the 22 because these are really, really hard to strip with these wire strippers. I will say these are probably the hardest wire strippers I've ever used. But I guess all of them are hard because wires do not like coming out. But yes, you do want to cut this plastic. This plastic is not good. You want what's inside the plastic, the audio wire. Now, you do not want to cut too long or too short. That's a good amount right there. You just want a little end, but not real short like a right there. We don't want that size. That's too short because you won't be able to get it in the amplifier all the way, and you won't get good sound out of that little cut. Now you want a long one, and if you have to trim it with scissors, then you can. So I'm gonna show you what a long one, a good size looks like. And you don't want to pull on the speaker wire too hard back here, but that's where you got to pull to get it to cut. And you don't want to pull too far back on there because it will damage the speaker wire. And so you don't want to damage the speaker wire by pulling back on there. So you're just going to try to take your index and your thumb and try to pull back, and you're going to slide more than likely, and you're going to catch this. Then you can use this. Once you catch that, then you can just try to pull, and you try to work it on its out. But it's really, really difficult until you get it, and then you probably push something in the process, like I pushed the camera on its little stand. So, but it will give you a brand new, clean, bright orange or silver, copper or silver look to it, shiny, nice and healthy looking. And I've seen amplifiers like burn this end, and it's not healthy, and it won't get you the best sound as possible. Now this is very, very sensitive, and all you got to do is push down, and look, it's already shoving around, which isn't real a big deal, but they will come apart like this, and you don't want to try to stick that in your amplifier because it won't work. So you're gonna have to sit here and twist it like a twisty tie on a bread bag. You're gonna just sit here and twist it until it can't get any tighter, and once it's about looking like that, good little twist, and if you push it, it won't come apart. That's really well. Now you got to do this side. This is the negative, or this is actually the positive. I'm sorry for that. This is the positive side. So like I said earlier, if you want to just take some electrical tape and just wrap it around there, that's really good to know. Like, this electrical tape will be perfect. Since I already know my positive and negatives, then I'm good. But if you don't know them and somehow you find out, or like, I don't know, if you just want to have a white strip and a black thing, just so you know, because like I said earlier, I have a white strip in mine, and if you just want to have the negative straight right there, so you don't have to look through the wire to find it, then yeah, go ahead and do it. But alright, to strip the other one, it's the same way. The negative side, we just want to find. This is a 16 gauge wire, and there's a 16 right there. This is a hole I'm supposed to be putting it in, but I put it in the 22. Now I don't know if I recommend this or not, because it is kind of dangerous, I guess. I could cut the speaker wire, but you can cut speaker wire forever. You can always sorry, that was my flashlight I was working on. But you can always cut more speaker wire until you run out. Pretty much. You can cut speaker wire right here. I could cut it right here. I could cut it down here. I could cut it right here. It doesn't matter. You can cut it just about anywhere. If you mess up, it's not a big deal. Like if I would have messed up on this, I cut it too short or too long, let's just chop it right off, you know. That's all you gotta do. And I'll show you how to do this all with scissors. But we're gonna want to take the same side, just about that length, as you can see. Clamp it as hard as we can, and then start pulling on the back. And try not to damage the wire too much, because you can, and you probably will. And then if it looks damaged back here, like, that ain't too bad. All you gotta do is fix that back up. But if you rip it, or the plastic comes exposed and the wire's exposed, or you pull it so hard it rips right off or something, I don't know, something crazy, then you just want to restart. You want to come back to here and just go, you want to just clip it right off, because you don't want to have bad speaker wire. You just want to clip it right off with scissors or anything you want. Now, this is an all-in-one tool, so I'll show you how to do it with scissors, like I said. And now, see, this is a good looking wire. This is exactly what you want. And then you want to twist this up, and you're all ready to go. So I'll show you how to plug them in. Hey, we're back. So I'm going to show you how to put your new speaker wire we just trimmed up into the amplifier. Now, this isn't a very hard process, but you can mess it up, or something else. Now you can see there's color side over here. I got white, red, green, blue, and silver down there. And this side has no color. You can't even see anything. It's just black. Now that's a good thing. Now most of them will have red and black all the way down, or they have another kind of setup where they're sideways. It doesn't matter how the setup is. I've also seen circles, and if you have a circle one, you just want to, I believe, I honestly don't know since I haven't had one exactly, but it's pretty much the same process. You just want to stick it in the hole and then clamp it down. But I can't show you on video how to do it because I don't have one. I have these clips like most people do. And we're just going to take the positive here, this side right here. Take this positive, and we're going to have to pull off the clip, which I'm going to have to put the camera down to do. Yeah, just like that. Alright, so you're going to have to pull back. You see these clips have springs, and they all do. And you're going to have to pull back on this clip. You just push down with your finger, a firm push, and it'll push back. It's going to open up this hole. Now, you want to see this in the process over here. I got this amplifier I can test it on. Now, don't mind the rubber bands. This is a whole different setup. So, but you see these red things here. These red things, you can push on them, and it releases the wire that's in here. Now, as you can see, taking the wrong wire. Okay, there we go. So now you see it just released the wire. This is a tip I made also. And way to do this is just, let me see if y'all can't see that. Okay. See that this little tip right here? You're just gonna take this little wire, your little speaker wire, and push back and insert it into the little hole. That's all you gotta do, and then release, and it's done. Now just make sure you line up your positive with your positive and your negative with your negative. Now the reason why this is, I know some people are saying red to red, that's positive and positive. Actually, this is positive, negative, negative, positive. Now the reason for this, cut a line down the middle of these two blacks, and that's positive, negative, and then that's positive, negative. Just think of a line down the middle, and it's the same on this side. Of course, it's going to be positive, negative, negative, positive. But it's really two different connections right down the middle, and it's just positive, negative, and positive, negative. Now I was just showing you how to run that there. And so now we want to take our speaker wire over here, since I just showed you it over there and how to do it. If I can find, there it is. So we're gonna just take it, make sure it's still tightened up with the twist there, and we're gonna I'm gonna try to do this the best I can. I'm sorry, YouTube, but we're gonna push back on this white lever and then just insert it in. And once we do that, it's in. I'm sorry I can't show you because it takes two hands. And we're gonna do the same for the negative side. It's this wire right here, and you're just gonna do this for right here. Now you're gonna have to do this to all your speakers. And also another thing, I know sometimes you have too fat of a speaker wire to go into these little holes, and if you push back, you gotta try to push back as far as you can and make sure your twists are really straight. And what the twist does, if there's a fat clump in the twist, it probably won't fit, and so you just untie it and redo a tie. Now the way you untie it is just undo the tie that you already done. Just go the opposite direction, and once you go the opposite direction, it'll just start untwisting it by itself. So like this is I'm gonna go this direction to untighten it. Actually, this, I don't know what direction this one is on. I think it's this. But you might have a fat clump in there, and it might just cause it not to go in. And to see like something like that or something or another. And you have to tighten it and just undo it and tighten it until it becomes like a really straight, easy line. Because most of these clips in these things are really thin, and I mean it was barely fitting into that one when I did it. So speaker wire size does matter. I recommend you don't go over 418, because if you're not running over 200 watts, you really don't need, or no, I think it's like 200 amps or something. You really don't need to worry about speaker wire. Now that's a whole nother video. I'll keep talking about all this. But you gotta do this for all your speakers. You gotta go through 5 different wires, and 6 different wires actually, because most of y'all have a subwoofer. And yeah, most of you guys' subwoofers will look something like this. Hold on, I know this is in the dark over here. Now see, most of you guys' subwoofers will look like this. This is a Panasonic regular subwoofer, and you do the same thing as that one over there. Now as you can see, I'll have to show you how to splice wires. Like this one was way too short to even use, and this wire goes, now since I spliced it, which that's called, and it goes a good ways now, as you can see, with this wire, instead of just being a 2-inch wire. And I got it stripped. But most of you guys' subwoofers will look like that. I know you guys don't have white van speakers. That's what they call them. But this thing's the best subwoofer I've ever used, so I ain't complaining. And you guys will have speakers like these, I know, and all that other good stuff. And it's the same process. And if you don't have that amplifier, don't worry. I have another one, and it doesn't even matter because they're all the same. All the same way, all the same. So doesn't matter what kind of setup you have, because it's all the same. Even for your speakers up there, you're gonna have to strip the wires and put them in if they had the little clips on those. And yeah, so that's this video on how to strip wires. Please, if you have any questions, put them in the comments. Okay, I will answer them. Now I know a lot of people are, because this is one of those topics that you're going to have a lot of questions in. So if I don't get to it right away, I will as soon as possible. But I know I'm not going to get too many questions, since I'm just now starting out as a fresh channel. So yeah, see you later, YouTube.